Hey all, it's Jess from Sunflower Dairy. As you can see, with all of this here, it's harvest time. So it is in the forecast that we are supposed to be getting a frost. And it's going to be probably tonight or tomorrow night. So I am harvesting everything. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what all I have here. So as you can see, there's sweet potatoes, tomatillos, peppers, onions, green tomatoes, red tomatoes, purple tomatoes, all kinds of cherry tomatoes, all kinds of peppers. And there's so much more that I need to harvest. So let's go see what else we can find in the garden. We're gonna head over to the squash bed, pumpkin patch to see if there's anything over here to harvest yet. We've had a few frosts that have been taking out the plants, but we still have been having some things ripening. Look at that, sugar pie pumpkin. Let's see what else we can find in here. Another sugar pie pumpkin. It's looking like it's a great year for sugar pie pumpkins. So if you've never grown a sugar pie pumpkin before, you can bake these in the oven and then use them to make pumpkin pie. All right, let's take this over here with the rest of our harvest. check out those cherry tomatoes. Look at all those beautiful different ones in there. Pretty good onion harvest. Full bucket of onions. Now I could have left it around because onions are actually cold hardy, but the bulb is not. So the bulb of the onion will get mushy if you leave it in there, but like the actual greens will be all right through the cold weather. So if you're just doing like a green onion, you could just leave those in and have the green onions, but the actual onions, those are what you have to worry about when you get a freeze. So that's why I went ahead and harvest these, even though these will keep growing, the bulb will not be okay. But if I left these in the ground, they would grow next year into the actual seed flowers for onions. So I did leave a few in the ground, so I will have onion seed for next year, but for the most part I harvested most of the onion bulbs. Really good sweet potato harvest. I'm really happy with that. I only had a few plants and I think they did really great. A few more hot peppers. I will be stringing these on twine like my other peppers that I will use for pepper powder. Tomatillos. These are going to be used for salsa. So I will be using the peppers and the onions and whatever tomatoes I have, and then all of these tomatillos for salsa. Check out all of these tomatoes. So what I don't use for salsa, I will use for either green tomato sauce, or I will use them in anything else. A lot of people do fried green tomatoes and a lot of other things like that. Peppers. These will be used for, well, these are actually sweet and bell peppers. The other peppers I showed you were spicy. These are bell and sweet peppers. So these will be used in salsa or anything else that I need a sweet onion for. And I will also chop these up and freeze them so that I can use them later. So you can freeze peppers as long as you're going to be cooking them. Otherwise, they will lose their actual fresh texture, but these are great. You can freeze and use for cooking. And like I said, with our pumpkins, I'm going to be doing pumpkin pie with these. So you bake it in the oven and then you go ahead and use that for pumpkin pie. Well, all, I have so much more to harvest before we get this freeze. The temperatures are getting down really low. We're either going to get a freeze tonight or tomorrow night. So I am getting any of the warm weather stuff that's not going to stand a freeze. I'm going ahead and harvesting all of it. Of course, my cold weather stuff like kale and Brussels sprouts and spinach and anything like that, that's going to be perfectly fine in the cold weather, and that will be okay to leave in here. So that will still be in here, but the warm weather crops, it's time for them to be harvested. Otherwise, if I leave them in here, they're not going to stand the freeze. So it's best if I go ahead and harvest them now. That way they will not get damaged from the cold weather. All right, all, I have so much more to go harvest, but thank you for watching. Thanks for seeing all this harvest. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.